Some breaking news to pass along to you this morning. President Trump just issued a 14-page letter to Congressman Benny Thompson. He's the chairman of the House Select Committee investigating the riot on January 6th. That is the same committee that voted yesterday to subpoena the former president. Tom Dempsey is live on Capitol Hill with these latest developments. So, Tom, what is the former president saying?
Hey, Marnie. Yeah, like you said, this statement totals 14 pages in total. And the president, one of the most notable parts, again, this comes a day after the January 6th committee voted to subpoena him for personal testimony in their investigation. But in this long statement from the former president, he doesn't actually mention whether he will or won't testify in front of the committee. Instead, he blames the formation of the committee on the radical left. And he spends a lot of his words, focusing on election fraud, saying the committee barely touched that subject. We want to show you a quick snippet from this statement that was just released minutes ago from the president, saying, quote, "This memo is being written to express our anger, disappointment, and complaint that with all of the hundreds of millions of dollars spent on what many consider to be a charade and witch hunt, and despite strong and powerful requests, you have not spent even a short moment on examining the massive election fraud." Again, he explains, through all sorts of words and even using pictures during this statement to go into election fraud and his claims of that during this 2020 presidential election race. Again, he doesn't make any mention over whether or not he's going to testify in front of the committee. But again, this is all coming a day after what could have been the very last public hearing from the January 6th committee. Weeks before the midterm elections, on Thursday, the January 6th Select Committee presented a closing argument alleging former President Donald Trump led an effort to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential race.
We need an area for the House members. They're all walking over now through the tunnels.
Using clips from videos previously unseen by the public, the committee showed what it was like inside the Capitol that day and the calls for help from House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senator Chuck Schumer. The footage, all recorded by Pelosi's daughter, filming a documentary at the time.
They're just breaking windows. They're doing all kinds of. It's really that they said somebody was shot. It was just horrendous, and all at the instigation of the President of the United States.
Yeah, why don't you get the President to tell them to leave the Capitol, Mr. Attorney General, in your law enforcement responsibility? A public statement, they should all leave.
The committee also showed texts during the hearing of the days leading up to January 6, when the Secret Service warned of possible violence with extremist groups sending groups of supporters. One agent wrote of the buildup, "It felt like the calm before the storm." Committee members hoped to paint a picture of a president defying his cabinet after they told him he lost the election. Former President Donald Trump posted to his social media platform, Truth Social, calling the committee a scam and writing, quote, "Why didn't the unselect committee ask me to testify months ago? Why did they wait until the very end, the final moments of their last meeting? Because the committee is a total bust that has only served to further divide our country, which, by the way, is doing very badly. A laughingstock all over the world." In the end, the committee unanimously decided to subpoena the former president for personal testimony, but the decision comes late in their investigation and may largely be only symbolic.
I think even the members of the committee understand that there is virtually no chance that there would come a day where Donald Trump would go before the January 6th committee and testify.
And again, going right off that, the big question now remains, will former President Donald Trump testify in front of the January 6th committee? This 14-page statement that came down minutes ago doesn't answer that question, so that'll be something we continue to monitor. By December, the January 6th committee hopes to release an investigative report on its findings during all these hearings. Something we also want to note about the committee is that GOP leadership did not appoint any lawmakers to the committee after House Speaker Nancy Pelosi blocked some lawmakers from joining in on that January 6th Select Committee. So, again, 2 Republicans are on the committee right now, but both remain staunchly opposed to Donald Trump. One thing, again, we're going to continue to watch is whether or not the president says he will testify in front of the members. Marnie?
It's almost certain that he will not, but we shall see. All right, Tom, thank you. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.